it's hard to know where to start really after that, but you're in control of the game for the first half. They start quite well, equalise, and then two soft sendings off spoil the game.
Probably should have started by just getting the game called off instead of doing all we could to get it on. But I fancied us today, rightly so after the last three performances. But they've just gone out there and threw it away down the pan today. I've just told them that in there. You can't think you've arrived after 3 games. First half we were at it. They were falling out with each other, and I think a few words was exchanged at half time. And they've come out the second half, and obviously, yet again, I don't like calling out the refs and stuff, but have we got it on camera? So we've got it on camera at least. I mean, the refs got the wrong man for a start. He's raised his arm, but he's pushed him in the chest, and obviously the kid's rolled around like he's been sniped off the roof. So listen, that's football. I've been there, I've done it myself. Yet again, my experience, lads letting me down. If they don't go charging in there from 60, 80 yards, their kid just gets a yellow card and we get a free kick, and we've still got 11 men on the pitch. Unfortunately, my experience, lads decide that they want to charge in and do something daft. And that's what's been happening all year round. I said it a few weeks ago. It's not my young lads that are letting me down. It seems to be all my experience, which ain't great. But whether it's a red card or not, he's sent him and it's cost us the game really. The second one, the ball's gone over. Don't know whether he's touched it or not. If he's not touched it, it's a red card. If he has touched it, it's another mistake. But the ref said he was 10 yards away, and I reckon he was about half a mile away.
Yeah, he was a long way.
So I think he's guessed at both red cards and come up with that both times. So frustrating to say the least. I mean, I don't know where they are in the league, 5th or 6th, and we've more than matched them for an hour. And yet again we come away with nothing. But it's a process. It's just obviously we've come 3 unbeaten. And we have to start again.
And when I was at half time kind of thinking what I was going to ask you, I was going to say, you said by Christmas you'd have a team together, and although you've lost today, it's just after Christmas, you have got a team together now. You've got a good squad now, you've got a strong bench, and you have got a team that have played well for 3 or 4 games, or 3.5 games. Yeah,
absolutely. I said to him at half time, I said we're unbeaten for 3.5 games, and obviously that's gone out the window. Like I said it'd take till Christmas. Our run since Christmas has been good. Obviously today's a blip. No excuses. I've got my squad's strong, and when everyone's at it, we're more than a match for anyone in the league. Like we went to Cornwall last week and we more than matched them. We were the better team for the whole game. It's just that they scored in the last minute. So, like you say, even though I've got a good squad, you don't just suddenly start winning games. It's a process of how we want to play. We do look more solid. I know we conceded 3 today, but 2 of them were 9 men. So you have to do something. We'll just keep building from here and try and get back on track.
And next week it's away at Mansfield. They're still kicking around near the bottom. Is that a game that you'll try and install what you had for the last 3 games and go again?
Listen, anyone that knows me or knows my philosophy on football, I go and try and win every game. Whether it be pretty or not. For a lot of the games today, it wasn't pretty, but the pitch didn't allow it to be pretty. You've got to do the ugly things right to get your authority on the game, and we did that. But Mansfield are down there as well. They're fighting for their lives. It's just another game where we'll go and try and put today's wrongs right. If we turn up for the first 50, 55, 60 minutes we did today, I'd more than fancy us. If we get on the end of some wrong decisions again, or we don't turn up, then Mansfield will beat us, and it's as simple as that. Football's not hard. If you work harder, and I've said it all year, work harder and run further than the opposition, you'll win more than you lose. I don't think that's ever been in question for us. We're just susceptible to daft things at times.
And finally, the goalkeeper situation. Pedro came in as kind of cover as such, or I thought he did. Is it competition for places now? Is it with the 2 goalies?
Peds, first and foremost, has come in on the coaching staff to bridge the gap for me and Brooksy on names and faces down in this area where we might be missing. Obviously, Peds is a really well-known character around these parts, and to get him on board was brilliant. So when I had the chat with Peds, he said, I'm struggling with my hips. He said, but I still want to play as and when I can. obviously we're having PSO suspended for 4 games, he had to play. Well, until today he was unbeaten, so what do? Do you drag him back out and put PSO back in who hasn't played since the start of December, I think, and bring Peds out when he's 3 unbeaten? Not in my book, not really. So we stuck with Peds. Not his fault for any of the goals today. He's a voice, he's a character. He's the only one that's parked up in the changing rooms after, and we need more like him, you know, instead of it always coming from me. Defeat should never be accepted. There should always be someone held accountable, and I can hold them all accountable, but that's coming from the gaffer. If they hold each other accountable, it means a little bit more. You know, why you're not doing your job coming from within the playing staff hits a little bit harder, I always thought, when it wasn't just coming from the gaffer. It sits a little bit different when it comes from the playing staff, you know, because there's no hiding place. We've picked a formation, we won't change from our formation now, and that's proved that we're more than good enough in the last 3 games. It's just, at times, we let ourselves down, like I said, and today was one of them days, not helped by the refs, but, you know, maybe I just tried a little bit too hard to get the game on, because I really fancied us today and I wanted to go 4 unbeaten, but unfortunately, I haven't.
And Danny Brooks, talking about the formation, he looked really good today, and then he came down from a header and was in pain. Did he do his ankle or something when he came down?
Yeah, Brooks is brilliant, but he's never going to play game on game on game on game. He's another one that's done really well in the 2 before last Saturday, and I just thought he gives us a lot from set pieces. Our goal today come from his set piece corner, always on the money, but then their first goal today is tried to clear it on his right foot, and it's just got away from him, and obviously he's not been able to get back in and get a tackle in. So as well as it's frustrating, you know, Brooks is not really here to play.
No.
But if he's doing well, I say to him, I don't want to pull you out. You know, that falls on my shoulders. I'm big enough and brave enough to make them decisions, and got it wrong today. Hands up, I got it wrong. Should have kept Archie in there. Probably shouldn't have started Max even after missing 3 games. But you like to bring your experience back in, and like I go back to, our experiences let us down again. So it's a lesson learned. We move forward, and you know, do I keep making the same mistakes, or do I put more trust in the younger lads? It's a difficult one, because you want to give them experience, but on the flip side of that, you always think that young lads that have not got the experience are the ones that will make mistakes, but you know, they haven't been, so maybe it's me.
Okay, well, thanks for your honesty.
No, yeah.
Cheers.
You'll always get that with me.